Get a broadcast, sunny Southern California, the highest tax state in the country. For the hour, we continue with California gubernatorial candidate Caitlyn Jenner. All right, let me get to this issue. On the issue of girls, transgender, sports, created a controversy. That was interesting to me, and your comments to Joy Behar. We got bigger problems, yes, than pronouns in the state of California. Joy Behar and I agree on nothing, but I thought it was very gracious of you, and I agreed with you. I don't think she did it on purpose.
No, most people, honestly, my mother at times misgendered me. By the way, my mother, okay, she was, during World War II, she was a parts inspector for the Avenger aircraft. She is a patriot. I love her to death. She's living up in Idaho. My mother loves you. Watches you every night. No, she watches you every night, calls me after the show to discuss everything on Hannity. So, in 10 days, she turns 95.
I'm calling Mom.
Her name is Esther.
Okay.
And a quick little, maybe to the camera, happy birthday,
Of
Esther.
course, I've always a comment. Esther, happy birthday. God bless you. And you're smart. You're in Idaho. And Caitlyn is paying way. And by the way, I'm dumb. I'm in New York. And Caitlyn's in California. Big part. Happy birthday. You're in our love, thoughts, and prayers.
Yeah. She will go crazy on that one. Anyway, I just had to do that. You know.
So, but girls, transgender sports, people that like Joy that say the wrong thing.
Joy that says, I mentioned a second ago, my mom sometimes, when she gets upset, I don't have a problem with that. The community has a bigger problem with that than I do. I stick with my statements that I made. I think we have to make sure that the integrity of girls' sports is there. I think that's extremely important. But it's... there's more to it than just what I said, because I just said biological boys in sports. There's more to it than that. And I think in the future I will explain more of that. But for me, as a trans woman, I think role models are extremely important for young people. Trans issues people struggle with big time. Our suicide rate is 9 times higher than the general public. And for me to be a role model for them, to be out there. I am running for governor of the state of California. Who would have ever thought that? We've never even had a woman governor.
But some are mad at you.
I don't, I move on. I want to be a role model, and I think and to be a leader. And I think the most important thing as a leader that you can do is your compassion, your honesty. And I think that sometimes is very lacking in politics. So I want to be an example to all people, not just trans people. This is what you
Why on the sports side of it, though?
Why did I what?
How you came down on the sports side of the issue?
I don't know why, to be honest with you. I don't know why they keep asking that. What do you think, Sean? I don't know. Why do they keep asking me that question?
Great question.
It is a good question, but we can deal with that. There's more problems here in the state of California than that. Yeah.
Well, understood it, and there are. I want to get into...
honestly, to me, Sean, my issues. I'm standing on my back porch a couple of years ago. I'm watching 200-foot flames coming up the hill at me. Why? 17 miles away in Chatsworth, a transformer blew. A few hours later, it traveled 17 miles. I had to eventually evacuate my house. It was so intense. We had not had a burn there in 35 years. It was so intense. We need to upgrade our grid, our electrical system. I think that's a position where we work with the electrical companies and Sacramento. I don't think Sacramento and the taxpayers should do all of it. They're already paying enough.
These rolling blackouts, just like wildfires.
Rolling blackouts. I put a generator at my house just because every time the wind blows, they turn off everything because they're afraid some system's going to spark and start a fire. We also, when I stood there watching this fire come at me, I never saw. Now I love the fire department. I love these guys. They're out there. But when it was coming at my house, I never saw one helicopter. I never saw one fire truck. I didn't even hear a siren. Granted, I live in a more rural area, and they were probably overprotecting more houses. But we need to do a better job. We need an early detection system when it comes to fires. I've seen so many of them in Malibu. I've lived there for 48 years. And the biggest thing and the most important thing is that they jump on a fire as quick as possible and put it out when it's small. And once it gets away from them, they can't. You know.
Would you allow controlled burns? Isn't there a science
Yes.
behind forestry? Is that science being ignored in this state?
Yes.
Because when I watch it, it breaks my
Management.
heart. I lived in Santa Barbara. I watched Hope Ranch burn down after I had just left the state.
Yes. Yes. Forest management is extremely important. Yeah. Just like at my house. And it's not even forest management at my house. The reason my house made it is because they say you have to keep any brush 50 or 75 feet. I think I had 75 feet clearance. When the fires came, they just went around my house so fast. It was gone because it's moving very fast. So it's almost the same thing for forest management. Just a little bit of preparation, you know. And my house made it. But 5 houses around me were burnt to the ground. Lives were destroyed.